Hello, guys, and welcome to this video about suturing materials. So, in this video, I'm going to talk about first about a definition to this uh, topic. Then, I'm going to talk about the types and explain every type, and then finally talk about the sizes of suture materials. So, suture materials is used to hold tissues together while in healing phase. And they should be sterile so they don't cause infection to the tissue, and they should cause minimal tissue reaction, and they should be strong so they don't break during suturing or after the suturing while the tissue in the healing phase, because if they break, then the tissues are going to separate and they cause wound dehiscence. And if the suturing happen in tissues where absorption of the suture material is necessary, then the material should be capable to be absorbed by the tissues once healing phase is complete. Now, for the types of suture materials, so we have the absorbable sutures, and those have the ability to be absorbed by the body once the healing phase is complete, and those are furtherly divided into natural and synthetic. And we have also the other type, which is the non-absorbable sutures, and those are not absorbed by the body and they stay uh, they either stay in the tissues and they get walled off by the inflammation that happen, or they are removed manually. Yeah, so they either walled off or they either removed manually. And they also furtherly divided into natural and synthetic sutures. So for the absorbable materials, those are the materials that absorbed by the body by either by enzymes or by hydrolysis. And the absorption causes these materials to weaken progressively until they get absorbed fully. And the rate of absorption is the speed by which the body absorbs these materials, and it is determined by the type of material used and the body part being sutured and the patient factors. So absorption rate is dependent on materials, body part, and uh, patient factors. And in optimal situation, the absorption process starts when the wound get adequate strength. And absorbable materials used for suturing deeper layers of the body, because suture removal is not possible for these layers, and also used for areas that heal rapidly, such as in bowel, urinary tract, and biliary tract. So now for the types and uses of absorbable materials. So this table here uh, explains the types and the uses of these materials. So I picked the famous types of the absorbable sutures, and those are the catgut, which is one of the first absorbable materials that's used, and it is a natural material, and it is not commonly used in the present moment. And the chromic catgut, which is also a natural material, and it is used for closure of mucosal wounds, and it is also not commonly used in the present moment. We have the polyglactin, which is also known as the vicryl, and it is a synthetic material, and it is the most frequently used suture material, From both of the types, the absorbable and the non-absorbable, the vicryl is the most commonly used, and it is used for suturing of deep tissues, percutaneous closures, and retains strength for 3 weeks, and it gets fully absorbed in 3 months. We have also the monocryl, which is also a synthetic material, and it is useful as a buried suture and retains its strength for around 3 weeks to a month. And we have here the polydioxanone, which is also known as the PDS. And this is a synthetic material and it is useful for wounds that require prolonged dermal support. And it is support the tissues longer than the vicryl. Now for the non-absorbable sutures. So those materials are not absorbed by the body and they stay in the tissues and they get walled off by the inflammation process or they are removed manually by the surgeon. And they preferred when long-term support, long-term tissue support is needed, such as in tissues that heal slowly, such as in vascular ligation and anastomosis, and also used for muscles, tendons, fascia, and superficial wounds. And those sutures, the non-absorbable sutures, are classified into three classes. So in class one, we have the silk, the nylon, and the polypropylene, which is also known as proline. The silk is a natural material and it is useful for securing drains, while the nylon is a synthetic material and it is useful in skin suturing and body suture that require prolonged dermal support. And we have the polypropylene, which is also known as a proline, and it is a synthetic material and it's used for skin sutures and areas with anticipated swelling. And those are the class one. Uh, I didn't. I picked the most famous sutures. So of course there is more. The class two, there's the cotton and there's the linen. The cotton is a natural material and it is not commonly used, but the linen is a natural material also, and it is used generally when tissue support for long time is not required. And the class three, uh, I have here the surgical steel, and it is a natural material and it is a very strong material. That is why it is used for orthopedic procedures and it's used for skin closure and hernial repair. The suturing materials also classified as uh, monofilaments and multifilaments, which also known as braided. So the monofilaments has one filament, while the multifilaments has more than one, and there is increase in infection with multifilaments because they trap the infection particles between these filaments. But there is coated types which solve this problem. Yeah. So those the another classification for sutures. Finally, here we have the size of suture materials. So suture materials assigned a number for size in reverse order. So the higher the number means the smaller the size of the suture material. So we have 00 and 10. Those are the big sutures and those used for abdominal wall closure and securing drains. And we have the 20 and 30, those used for closure of thick tissues such as skin, fascia, muscles, and tendons. The 40 and 50, those used for closure of skin in aesthetic areas such as the hands, face, feet, and also used for pediatric patients. The 60 and 70 use those used for plastic surgery and used for blood vessels repair. And we have the 80 to 11, those are the smallest sutures and they use in ophthalmic surgery and the microvascular reconstruction. And that's it for the suture materials. Uh, Please like this video and subscribe and comment. Yeah, thank you guys.